morning.
Good afternoon.
And good evening.
And welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. in Business podcast.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Helen.
And what do we talk about?
We talk about business.
Life.
And everything in between.
The good, the bad, the ugly. We are, 2-3 weeks away from Christmas now?
We are. And the Christmas tunes are playing. And it's very exciting.
Well, I heard my first Christmas song on the day we released the last podcast.
Yeah, on that Friday.
Yeah, when we were talking about marketing's not just ads.
Yes.
And on that day, I heard on Smooth FM, because that's telling my age now, isn't it?
Smooth FM.
They don't do that jingle, but maybe you could apply to do the jingle.
It sounds like they should.
Yeah. And they played Mariah Carey driving All I Want for Christmas.
Yeah, that's when you know it's Christmas.
Yeah. So I love Christmas. I get so excited for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the gifts for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
No, you genuinely say you don't want anything,
because
which is great for me.
I just love seeing everybody else so happy. I think it's a great time at family just to be. The good thing with Christmas is you can turn off from work. We're quite fortunate. We can switch off work.
Yeah.
Most of the businesses we deal with have shut down over Christmas as well. So it really is the only true opportunity to really shut down. Because when you go on holiday, right, there's always that, on your emails and what have you, because people are still working and stuff. So it's a real good opportunity. And we always, reset. And
reflect.
Reflect, which is all about this week's podcast, actually. So, because at Christmas, we normally do this, don't we? Have like a little reflection period about what we've learned. And then we start putting all these massive plans in again for what will now be 2026. That seems really, do you know what? That seems actually easier to say, though, than 2025. I don't know why. So, yes. So we thought it'd be really good to do those reflections a few weeks early and do them on a podcast.
Absolutely.
Because this is what the whole idea of this was when we set it, wasn't it? Was be transparent and get insight and stuff. So
share our journey, the highs and lows, what we've learned and what we've learned from others. Because, it's tough in business, it's tough in life. And if you realise somebody else has been there, done that, I mean, it's good to hear it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Right. So one of the big things I've learnt this year is the word association and like pairings with brands and stuff. So I knew this a long time ago anyway, like more about pairings of brands and positive words and what you want your brand to be associated with. But something that I've learnt this year is that negative pairings are just as important as positive pairings. And I'm going to give you an example, all right? What I mean by that.
Yeah.
This is my personal opinion on it. I'm probably going to get a load of slate on this and hate on this, but this is my personal take on it. So I've just seen an advert a week or so ago with Gordon Ramsay and Burger King. Yeah. Now, I associate Gordon Ramsay as this Michelin star chef. I'm not sure if he is. I don't know much about the world of cooking, but anyway, high end. So I'm going to go to his restaurant. I'm going to get this high end experience with high end food. Because he's associated with that. He was an expert in cooking, quality and all that sort of stuff. And then all of a sudden I see an advert where he's on for Burger King talking about their Wagyu burgers, which I'm sure are very nice. Yeah. But to me...
And we'll probably have one. Well, but that's beside the point.
Most certainly will have one. Because it's the only type of Gordon Ramsay food I can afford. Now, he's probably not associated in any way, shape or form with that food. It's just part of the advertising and the marketing. But now for me, Gordon Ramsay is... That messaging that he spent all those years putting out around quality and top end and high end and getting it perfect and all that stuff has now just been watered down a little bit because of that advert.
Yeah, and I'd agree.
And to me, that's where brand associations and pairings, negative pairings are just as important as positive. So I talk a lot about business coaches. Yeah. And I think that, and this is not just business coaching, they get a bit of a hard name. It's the same with every industry, but there's a lot of cowboys out there and cowgirls. And
I couldn't help it, sorry.
And I think a lot of them are just time wasters, to be honest with you. Yeah. But if I'd have gone on podcasts with those people, people would have started thinking that I think that their services are obviously okay. Yeah. And I don't. I think a lot of their advice is poor. I think it's based on not a lot of information. And I think their typical thing is, and it's when you speak to most of them, is put a process in and put your prices up. Yeah. It's never that well, sometimes it's
but if you haven't got processes in, it's a little bit worrying.
No.
Like,
no, well, yeah, that's the thing for me. But anyway, we're going to get off on a topic I don't want to get into. But so I don't. I've had lots of invites from people to go on those podcasts, and I've refused them because it'd be wrong for me to do that. I can't go and slag them off in there, and then all of a sudden go, of course I'm going to go and get in touch with your network and your audience.
Yeah.
So that's for me.
It's quality, not quantity, in the things that you do.
Association.
Now, Gordon Ramsay would have been paid an awful lot of money for that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's obviously that's obviously been attractive to him, and it's obviously fantastic for them. However, the overall brand the way he'll be perceived by, you know, only you and me, we both have different views in life, but we both agreed. We were like, wow, I'm surprised he's done that.
Yeah.
I see him as, like, of course, Burger King is a very successful brand. However,
different
I
clientele,
wouldn't have associated them with it.
You wouldn't have expected people visiting Michelin star restaurants to eat at Burger King. Occasionally, maybe, but not as a. It's just a negative pairing for me.
We're all here for thinking out of the box and like mixing people that you wouldn't normally. However, it's great for Burger King, but is it so great for him? Maybe the paycheck was.
I don't know. we will probably never know behind closed doors, but to me, that's what I would call like a negative pairing, a negative association. And the other part to that is association with the right sort of people. So we have been very fortunate that we have started filming for a feature-length documentary for a hugely successful and like unicorn of an individual, Andrew Hulbert, who set up Pareto FM and sold for, I think it was $100 million. Actually, he took the money off the table twice, but we're not going to talk too much about that because it's going to come out in the documentary. But he spoke a lot about that he wanted to get into people like Netflix and Twitter and stuff like that. And his sort of thing was kill him with kindness, but also there's that association piece as well. So almost like, well, I do the FM for Netflix, or I do it for London Zoo, or I do it for the Bellagio, was it? Well, no,
it was some big names,
I can't remember the
wasn't it?
names, sorry, but Twitter and all these people. And all of a sudden it's like, well, hold on. If it's good enough for them, of course it's good enough for me.
Want a piece of that pie.
Right? So this is something that we've learnt this year as well, is sort of these associations and pairings and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's been, for us actually, it's been a real game changer actually, but only towards the latter end of the year.
Yeah.
I think. And we've got, I mean, off the back of that, we've got some hugely exciting things coming in 2026. I'm almost like, I don't normally say this, but I'm almost like, let it be here, let it be here, let it be here.
Yeah. Normally we're like, oh, I'm just waiting for Christmas to rewind, to chill out, which I am, don't get me wrong, we love that time, but I'm equally as excited for 2026 because, like, we've got so much planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we just wanted to share some of the reflections that we discuss over a cup of tea at home in our PJs and share them with others. Because like you say, we have had quite a few epiphany moments this year and we just wanted to share some of those.
Yeah, so that was one of them.
Yeah.
Another one was celebrating the small wins.
Yeah, we've said that a few times.
Yeah, you lead on this one because this is you changing my behaviour on this one.
Well, yeah, because for me, a big part of my role within Threadapixel and within Two Krakens, more Threadapixel, is like sales and account management and obviously brand awareness. I've never done sales. I've always been a fashion designer, so I've never done sales. I've done account management. And I never thought I'd be a salesperson, but that is what a huge part of my role is. And so I'm forever trying to get new sales. Yeah, you've had a great month. That's great. Right, next month. And it was just like, yeah, we've got this customer. And then when you get certain sized orders at the first few years, as they get bigger, it's great. And then you don't realise, you know, for us, 7 years down the line, you're getting orders that you would only have dreamed of 7 years ago. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's great. Well done. Next. And then you just take a bit of a reflection as you're telling friends or family and you realise, hold on, that is, or maybe they're saying, hold on, that's amazing. And then you say, oh, yeah, we work with them, or, yeah, we've just done a job for them. And they're like, hold on, that's fantastic. And then I'll sort of go back to you and say, you know what, is actually fantastic what we've both achieved and what we've had to, experiences that we've had to achieve, had to go through. So, yeah, I sort of said, look, can we just reflect a little bit more on what it is that we're achieving? And so we have started doing that, and it's much nicer. it just makes you feel more raring to go, and almost makes you think, actually, yeah, what are we actually aiming for? And instead of aiming here and sort of plodding along each day as it comes and meeting who you meet, it's like, hold on, I want to work with this person.
Yeah.
I want to work with this person up here, and like really focusing on that. And then we have been achieving that. And it's like, hold on, didn't realise we could do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had some incredible conversations with people and businesses that we just thought maybe this time last year it would never even happen. I mean, the fact that we've got to film this feature-length documentary is like, oh my God, humongous for such a massively successful person.
And it's perfect for what you wanted, because I was actually speaking to a friend last week about it, and she said that was Chris's dream, you know, because I'd said, oh, he wants to do a documentary, but we're not sure what to do it on, who to do it on, and like not sure if he's got the time. And, you know, on paper, you haven't got the time.
When have you ever got the time though, right?
But sometimes you've just got to take that opportunity when you think, hold on, this is aligning, you know, this guy is not only a great guy, but he's got an amazing story to share.
Yeah.
We feel incredibly inspired by him. We know a lot of other people do as well. This story needs to be shared.
Absolutely. I mean, he's done a lot of podcasts and stuff, but there's so much more he hasn't said yet.
Yeah, you want to do the nitty-gritty. Yeah. And I love the way that you do storytelling, because it's not the obvious way.
Yeah.
You know, you don't always want to ask the obvious questions. And I think that's what makes something really, really interesting. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and me. We've got a lot more work left to do, but we won't talk too much about that. But it's the piece about just aiming high and just... Yeah. I mean, like, we can't mention names yet because this is all for season 3 of the Mr. and Mrs. in Business podcast, which is going through, like it did last time for season 2, actually. We had this whole change, because season 1 was in the garden office.
Yes.
Season 2 was we moved into work.
Yeah.
And we built the studios and stuff.
And we've swapped between the studios. We've done it in
just showing the different views.
We did one in Marrakesh.
We did one in Marrakesh. And now season 3 is going to be like another change.
A whole revamp.
Lots of change in that, which we can't talk too much about yet. But we've got some massively successful people. I mean, some of the names that we are... I mean, honestly, these are like global businesses that people have worked in at high levels that are going to spill the beans on stuff that, honest to God...
It's exciting.
I can't say anymore because I'm going to blabbing it out.
Yeah, rail it back. Rein it back. Let's get back to these topics.
But that comes to the point of just like aiming high and just going for it. And I think that sort of links nicely into just asking for help.
Yeah.
Because one of the things
you don't ask, you don't get.
Right. And one of the things that I've got better at over the years is asking for help. But I've always felt that the help I was given, and this might sound really ungrateful, and it's not meant in this way at all, but I just never felt like it was really that beneficial. And something that I learned this year is asking for help is only part of the equation. The second part that I think, because I've asked a lot of people the same question, they've said similar things. And I think the second bit that I've missed, and I've only got this year, is making sure you're asking the right people. And now what I mean by that is asking people that have already done it and that are quite a few steps ahead of you in that respect, because they can see that not only that was the right decision to make, but also sometimes it was the wrong decision to make, but they didn't realise until maybe 6, 12, 18, 24 months later, in which case they've given you a piece of advice that they think is great, but actually it wasn't in the long run. And so asking these hugely successful people we've had on the podcast, and Andrew and other people as well, and the bizarre thing is you would think that these people don't want to help you because they're busy.
Yeah.
But it's the total opposite. Well, that's been our experience anyway.
Yeah.
Total opposite.
Especially when they've started from from the ground up. They've literally done it all. So you like to think that they can appreciate how tough it can be. And equally, even I've been going to business groups recently with like a number of different businesses, and we're there to help each other along the journey. Some of them have been ahead of us, and I've found that really, really interesting and helpful. And then some of them have been on their journey that we're sort of 3 or 4 years ahead of, and I've been able to help them. And it's lovely to be able to help other people and say, you're exactly where we were 3 years ago. I can guarantee you, if you do X, Y, Z, that will help. And it's not often you can say that because each business is different, but certain things you can.
I think business is different, but it's not. This is the thing that I realised a few years ago, is that business is the same. The only thing that changes is the product that you're selling. But the fundamentals of business is to create a product that solves a problem, to get it out to the market, to offer the best product and service you possibly can. And you know what, if I'm being honest, as business owners, is to make some cash.
Yeah.
Right? I'm never shy about that. I'm here to make money. I know people, especially in England, it's a very taboo subject, money, isn't it? And it's like, I've asked a few people recently, like, what's your reason? Is it just because you want to make a whole load of cash? Because that's one of my reasons. I'm going to be honest. And some people have been like, oh, no. And then it's kind of come out a little bit. And other people have been as blatant, not many, but some people have been as blatant me as like, well, yeah, because actually I didn't have anything growing up as I didn't. And it's like, well, I want to make sure that my family don't. I mean, I went a great growing up, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like I was living off the streets, but my parents couldn't really afford a fat lot. And I just want to make sure Parker doesn't do that. And ideally, his kids don't have to go down that road as well. But so, yeah, about asking the right sort of people.
Yeah, because it is interesting because, you know, if you ask, like, for me, if I say how great and how busy it is to my mum or my dad, they're like, that's fantastic. I'm really proud of you. Now make sure you rest. Make sure you just don't push yourself too hard. And that is something that, yes, you do need to hear. But then I'll speak to somebody that is in business themselves and they'll say, that's fantastic. Make sure you're surrounding yourself by positivity and keep aiming for the stars and just keep going. So like you say, it is interesting speaking to those different people because they've got different experiences and different ways that they feel is the best way to help you.
Yeah.
Because I do find that as soon as I speak to my friends and family, they always say, oh, make sure you're resting. Like that is like the main thing. They're like, I'm really proud of you. Make sure you're resting. But
which is weird, isn't it? Because we speak about that a lot on this show. It is important to rest and it's important to listen to your body. But you also have to understand one of the fundamentals of being a business owner is you will work harder than you ever thought possible for longer hours, for more stress, for the less pay. And sometimes you do that for months, years, sometimes decades, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people do it for their whole life and they never get to where they wanted to get to.
yeah,
But that is the risk that you take and the sacrifices
risk,
that you take in starting your own business. And I'm really passionate about this, that I get sick and tired of people saying it's really easy and it's simple and you can do it with just by buying my course and I'll turn everything around for you. It's honestly, and I love our family saying that you need to take rest and look after yourself. And it is true. But what I say to people is understand that you have to work hard. You have to look after your body, of course you do, but listen to your own body. You'll know when it's time to rest. Just make sure you're in tune with that and take a few days. But understand as well that, great, just because I've won that massive contract now or won that big bit, well, that doesn't mean, oh, great, just sit back now and relax. It all takes care of itself. Because that's not, you need to be doubling down now. If something's good's happened, you need to be telling everybody else that it's good. Then you've got to deliver on it. Try and win more business like that as well and grow the team now and all that stuff. So really important you do look after yourself, of course. I'm not saying don't. I don't want to go too deep into this, but you also have to understand as well that you've got to put the graft in.
I think the thing is, you do have to make sacrifices. I definitely don't see my friends and family as much as I'd like to because I'm working that evening or I am emotionally drained. And I just can't do that headspace of making that effort, to be quite frank with you. But on the occasions that I do always have a nice time, I've got to be honest. But yeah, one of my points was listening, like you say, listening to your body and making sure you do get enough sleep. Like this time last year, I was definitely saying, God, I'm always tired, you know, being over 40, having children, running a business. I genuinely was always tired. But I haven't felt like that the last few months when I've made sure, okay, I'm going to say it, I've gone to bed at 9 o'clock. Yeah. 9:30.
9 for years.
You know, you get up at 5, I get up at 6. But I need that time. Otherwise, I am a moody bee.
But this is the point about listening to your body, isn't it?
And I can't function properly. And so I do, definitely feel more clear-headed. Yes, I've got a lot of work to do and I could stay up till midnight like I used to. And last night was actually quite funny. I was messaging customers because I've had a really busy week with the new starters and I've been out at a few different meetings. So I've been catching up on emails and I was asking a customer, you know, hope you're okay. Thanks very much for the information. And he was like, yeah, I'm okay, Helen, but you're clearly the same as me. You're spending a Friday night emailing about work at 8:30. So we're both pretty sad. But, you know, I
that's
don't
part and
mind.
parcel of it, though, isn't it? I mean, here we
and
are.
I don't resent that, especially when I'm on the sofa
Yeah.
with the family, watching telly, chilling in my PJs, sending emails, catching up. I like the fact that I can catch up like that. So
No, absolutely. I mean, here we are on a Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning recording a podcast. So we've got some other stuff to do in the day.
Exactly.
So it is part and parcel. But sleep is so important. And something
Yeah.
I've banged onto you about for a long time because I was the same place you were on our first business. I'd be up until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning because the developers that we worked with were in a different country.
Yeah.
But then you didn't sleep in the day so I was up again at 5 or 6 and it was just, it was awful. That's what I had to do. I mean, it was, I say awful in the fact of it really impacted me physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And I realised then a good few years back that sleep for me is massive, as it is for most of us, right? But is massively important. And seeing you go down that road and now seeing that you seem much happier. And do you know what? I argue as well, actually, that you end up being more productive in the hours that you do have.
That's it. That's it. Like, I still feel guilty going to bed early when I'm like, I'm not overly tired. I could stay up and do 2 hours more work. However, like you say, then you are more productive the next day. So you're probably making up for those few hours anyway. So that's how, I guess I like to see it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the big things that I've learnt this year is labelling content. What I mean by that, and this isn't my thing. This is something I learned from one of our podcast guests, actually. So, and it's coming out in season 3. So keep dropping that. Don't like a little carrot. And that is that a piece of content gets labelled with something, like it's a podcast or it's a social media post. So I've done a social media post, or I've done a blog post, or I've done a podcast episode, and what I've realised is that piece of content, or I'm running here. That podcast, just use that as an example, is no longer just a podcast, or it shouldn't be anyway. If we change the language and the label that we put on that, it's not a podcast episode anymore. It's a piece of content.
Yeah.
Now, how do I utilize that piece of content to create me multiple pieces of content? And this is something we spoke about, I think, last week on this show. But I use podcasts because we're here now. But as an example, but off the back of a podcast, you've got your long form onto YouTube and onto also the audio channels like Spotify, Apple, and all that stuff.
Yep.
Then you've got blog posts off the back of it for your website for SEO. Then you've got social media shorts, so you can clip the video into shorts for video shorts, or you could use it for prompts for just text or photos, if you've got photos from it, or screen grabs.
Carousel.
Carousels, that kind of thing. Lead generation tools. There's so much. And so now we don't any longer look at, I'm creating a podcast or I'm creating a LinkedIn post. It's I'm creating a piece of content around a subject that I'm passionate about or want to tell my audience about. And then what else can I get from that piece of content now? And so for me, that's been a really big learning. And again, only towards the end of this year, really, is that really resonated and really sort of dug itself deep into me now. And now I hate it when anyone in the office says, oh, I'm doing a podcast. No, you're not. Or I'm doing a LinkedIn post. No, you're not. We're doing a piece of content, right? And actually, let's look at the wider piece now. How does that fit in, and how can we multiply that across other channels and use that more? Because,
and it's a great way of time saving as well. We're all tight for time, so doing an hour's podcast, especially if you were to get it done by 2 Krakens, you can just sit down, have your conversation with your customer or your team. That's 1 hour of your time. Literally, you've got a beautiful setup. In whichever studio sort of look that you would like, and you just an hour of your time, and then you've potentially got
a month's worth of content.
So many, like a couple of months' content from an hour.
Yeah, so it's really important.
It's we that's what, like you say, we realised people are short on time, and they don't just want that Happy Pancake Day post. I'll always go back to that. I'm so sorry. When it's actually Pancake Day in February,
you're going to do one.
I'm going to do.
You'll be that person.
I have done one. I did one about 5 years ago. I remember, because I had my workwear on, and I was like, "Oh, my pancake."
I don't remember.
So it's definitely important. So yes, I think, like you say, it's not just that one piece of content, is it? And with that content, when we first started the podcast, people We both said we felt vulnerable, and I still do feel vulnerable because, unfortunately, you do still have not very nice people out there in the world. You have your
twats.
keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I've found easier to accept the older I've got. I think when you hit 40, you really give less and you just, you know, I don't like everybody, you know, and I can accept that not everybody is going to like me. So if you don't like me, don't watch.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. Don't follow me. That's absolutely fine.
That's your right.
I'll stay with my own little group of people that I like and that appreciate what I have to say. And if you don't like it, scroll on.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that I really don't like about those people is why do they have to take the time to make you feel like this big?
Yeah.
You're putting yourself out there for the benefit of yourself or helping other people or something. And somebody has the right to try and make you feel that. I mean, if we've not learned anything from being horrors people online today after all of the horrible and horrific things that happen to people like Caroline Flack and people like that, oh my God, then these people are flipping idiots, absolute idiots.
Exactly. But what scares me as well is like not only have people, you know, committed suicide from this kind of disgusting behaviour, these people making those comments have children and families. Like, what kind of person must you be? We weren't talking about it with the team the other day because they said that they'd had a nasty comment when they'd put a photo on social media a few years ago. How dare you think it's okay to comment negatively about somebody else? Would you go up to them and say it? And if you would, then that says so much more about you.
But I don't understand why people just can't just scroll past.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, just block them or anything like that so it doesn't come up on your feed. There's so many tools available for you to be able to not see that person's content or type of content again.
Yeah.
Why do you have to take the time to do it?
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
So that's something that I think you've just got to try and block out because it is going to happen. And
it does happen. It happened to me last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when I did that post on the airplane.
Yeah.
And I had one guy, I didn't even see it. You told me about it because there was that many comments on it.
Did boil my
about
blood.
basically saying I was too fat for the seat. Now, I am a XL. I'm not going to lie.
A small XL.
A small XL. In some brands, I'm a medium.
Him.
But it doesn't matter, right? But I'm not bigger than the seat like he tried to make out I was. And he got really quite vindictive and horrible. And you told me about it, and you sort of were,
I naturally commented on it.
You were thinking, and then all of a sudden I started writing a post, which was basically, this is pathetic. Well, you can see from where I work and where I live. So come round, just say it to my face, and we'll have a conversation about it.
Is that what you said?
I'd had written that out.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, Chris, what are you doing? You're being an idiot. You're just fueling his fire. So I think I did say something afterwards, which was along the lines of, you're an idiot or something like that, or you're obviously not a nice person, And I was blocked him, reported him, and deleted the comment. And it's just like, why did you have to do that anyway? It was this the time you took to do it. Does it make you feel bigger and better about yourself?
I know, this is what
pathetic.
I mean. What kind of life must you be leading to
and
say
it's really
stuff?
interesting because as a kid, I grew up in an area which wasn't the nicest of places. And so if somebody said something to you, you'd deal with it like lads would. And sort of move on with it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me because the people that are gobby online are normally the ones that are too, pardon my French, chicken shit to come and say it to your face anyway.
Yeah.
And so, but it did roll me up a little bit, I must admit.
Yeah,
I think actually more so rolled me up because you'd got involved and I was almost like this territory thing there of like, I need to protect you and hold on.
Yeah. But that's what I felt like when I saw the comment. I was like, how dare you? And I was late for work and I was like, no, I need to write a reply to this. And I was like, I shouldn't fuel the fire, but it just really got me. But he had said, maybe you need to look at your size for the chair. And I put, he is not an XXL, he's a small XL and he's all mine.
All of it, all XL. But the point is, the whole thing, we've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but the point is that people will be horrible no matter what.
Yeah.
And so, you know what, even if it's not to your face, they're still going to be horrible. They are dicks. They're a waste of space. They're not worth the air they're breathing. But you can't stop putting yourself out there. You've just got to do it and just, it's horrible, but you've got to grow a tough skin.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to, I know, but that's just part of the way the world is.
Because you know the value that you can bring to the people that you're aiming at and that you want to help is so much more than the negativity. So
absolutely.
For me, that just makes that so much more important.
So that was a big lesson for us this year, I think, as well, is just keep going. Don't let the haters hate on you. Don't let them bring you down. Just keep going. They'll carry on hating and then they'll find somebody else they're going to hate on. They're a waste of space. Just crack on doing what you're doing. Who's winning? I mean, ultimately, on that particular one, I had I don't know, like 1,200 comments, nearly 300,000 impressions.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was...
you carry on, sunshine. You're only helping me. Crack on.
Yeah.
Twat. So, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was interesting. But yeah, it does make you reflect on like the little things in life. We actually have that appreciation diary that we created.
Oh,
you created that
diary.
a couple of years ago. Yeah, the gratitude diary. And like, physically writing down the little tiny things that are great in your life. It sounds so small, but I did it when you first launched them a couple of years ago. That it's so effective. It is so important because everybody in the world can feel like they're going through a hard time,
which we all do from time to time as well.
And some people are going that factually they are going through harder times than others. There's no doubt about that. However, I like to think that everybody's got positives that they can focus on. I mean, you're alive for one, but focusing on the little things in your life can really make you sort of refocus and think, okay, this is what I do have. And then focus, what do I want and what can I do to work towards that? It's not always easy. I'm not saying it is.
It's not. You're right.
But a huge thing of mine is a problem shared is a problem halved. And I've always said that. I'm sure that's what my mum hammered into me as I was a child. And I've always been a big advocate of that. For me, I feel so much lighter when I've shared a problem with somebody that, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I probably shared stuff with customers and the team. I'm very open with our team because, that's me and that's what I'm going through at that time. And if I feel like your opinion can help or if I just need to verbally share that, then hopefully that can help me on my journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
like you say, celebrate the small wins, and just sometimes when you're feeling low, just try and look at some of those little things that you should be grateful for. Like you say, you're alive for one, all that sort of stuff. So, really important.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing that there's been many learnings from this year, but the last thing that sort of comes to my mind is we did a big change for the team this year, didn't we? So it wasn't just about me and you. This was about looking at the team and trying to get this. Yeah. It's a weird thing that we have in our operation. So lots of companies are able to offer things like work from home, flexi time and all that sort of stuff. And we're quite limited in what we can do because we have half of our teams doing production, so manufacturing type stuff on machines that literally if they're not, you have to be there manning them. And if they're not running, we're not earning. So Therapixel, for example. And even videos, if we're not out on set filming, we're not earning. So it's really hard for us to do that. And we feel like it's unfair to have some parts of the team that are able to have that option to work from home and others that aren't. So we've always been quite clear. And actually, I'm being honest, personally, I'm not sure I totally believe in work from home anyway as a thing. So, but that's the reason why we haven't done it. But it's always felt like a little bit unfair because other companies are doing it and friends, so staff will say, my friends have got to do it or other family members have got to do it. And we wanted to do something that was for them, to give them something back. And so we trialled earlier this year doing a Friday finish early.
Yeah, 1:30.
1:30. So we said, right, unfortunately, we're not in a position because we've got so much work where we can just knock that half a day off.
Yeah.
But if we did it so that we came in extra, for some people 15 minutes, some people half an hour every day on the the run up to the Friday, would it be better for you to have that time back then and leave at 1:30? And everyone was, I think, a little bit apprehensive at the start, I think, because they weren't sure about the extra earlier start. They were like, they were happy to do it, but it was like, I think there wasn't this joy of excitement. Like, I thought there was going to be like oh my God, thank you, that's amazing. It was more, oh, okay, yeah. But I think it was because they were trying to work out logistically how they would start earlier and stuff. And we said, look, let's try it and see what happens. And now it's great because they'll all come back and we'll say, what are you doing? Well, when I leave at 1:30 today, I'm going to go and do the shopping and do the cleaning and all that boring stuff that you might think for a minute, well, why are you using your time to do that? But as an adult, you've got to do it anyway. And so their mentality is, if I get it done when it's peace and quiet and no one's around, then I get the weekend free to do what I want to do with my time.
Yeah. Or sometimes they've gone to get their nails done, or they've said, I'm going to pop to Merry Hill, I want some me time. Or I'm actually meeting my friend. So it is, it's just lovely to have that flexibility, isn't it? And it is nice, and it has worked really, really well.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think was a brilliant decision. We actually finished, I think it was 2:30 yesterday. Well, we went home to then work from home.
Yeah. I went off doing deliveries.
On the Friday. Yeah, so, okay, I finished at 2:30.
We didn't because you went home and worked, but it gives us a bit of
yeah.
freedom. And I
Yeah.
don't think we've ever finished at 4:00 anyway. I mean, it's just the unwritten rule of having your own business. There's no sign in and sign off time. It's you're always on the
still
clock.
Carrying on with work.
But it gives them the choice, and then it means that
yeah, it's
sometimes,
worked well, hasn't it?
if we want to work from home where it's a bit more comfier, or if there's something else, because a lot of times you'll be working while doing something, like there's something on telly. I can't remember the last time actually I watched a TV program properly, but you'll be working on something in the background, and it just makes it a bit of a different thing. So,
Just to catch up.
but that's worked really well.
Yeah,
And I would recommend to businesses, if you've looked at it, trial it with the team. Because like I said, for us, it's been a massive thing now.
Yeah,
and it's helped us actually with recruitment as well. When we recruited people and said we finish early on a Friday, there's been that sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely been attractive.
So lots of learnings this year, lots more as well. But otherwise, I feel like we'll be here for hours.
I know
reeling them all off.
we could go on. Yeah, there are other ones that we've done, but I won't even go there.
No, some are smaller, some are big, but it doesn't matter. But just I think the message in this show is that we try and share things that work for us and not work for us. But just for yourselves and your own businesses, go away and have a look at the past year. I think if you stop for a minute, and this is important, just stop and think what you've achieved over the past 12 months.
Because it will be amazing.
Loads, and
the highs and the lows, like the things that have gone wrong, which, hopefully won't go wrong again because you've learnt from it. So
yeah, absolutely. So go back and just really have a look at those. There will be some really interesting things, and try not to look at them as the negatives. Look at them as the learnings that have taken place. Like you say, the positives.
I think that's a massive mindset change for me. Because when we first had our first business, like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, some things didn't align, things went wrong, and I think we were both quite embarrassed to tell people that we'd finished with that business, and we didn't really tell anybody, and it did have that sort of negative sort of failure thing attached to it. Whereas it was so interesting because we learned so much from that we implemented in our new businesses. So it was a massive positive. And yeah, I feel like socially people are more open and honest about the negatives because you do learn from them.
100%. Every time we've done it, and we've had, in reality, we've had more failed businesses than we've had successful businesses.
Well, we've tried a few little bits and bobs.
No, but happily say that. Failed is in that we closed them. Failed not is because we've not learned anything. Because to me, fail is when you stop learning from the mistakes that happen. And we don't use the word failed in here anymore. It's always we've learned from that.
Yeah.
And every time we've done that, we've implemented all those learnings into the next thing. And that is then almost like put a step up on the rung of the ladder to get that business further, quicker. I mean, we shut one last year before. The baby gifting business.
Yeah.
Just because the market had changed.
Yeah, well,
That's fine.
we chose that we didn't want to.
But we took so much from that.
Yeah.
And we said, well, we don't want to look after that market anymore. We don't want to do this. We've got this machinery already. What can we do different with this? And so there's always learnings, and it's never a positive. If you speak to most successful people, they will have more failed businesses than successful because you only need one good idea.
Yeah.
But who's to say you're going to land on it first time? Sometimes you get lucky and you do.
Well, yeah.
Most of the time you don't. And you have to throw a few things around before you land on them.
So, yeah, take this time over Christmas to reflect, unwind, share any problems, share any appreciations. Speak to your team. What could you do to sort of help them as well?
Yeah.
What could you do to help yourself?
Absolutely.
Get some sleep.
Have
some Baileys over Christmas.
Baileys and mince pies. Yeah.
And, aim high.
We've got one more podcast to do before Christmas.
We'll have our Christmas jumpers on, I feel.
We'll have our Christmas jumpers, yes. And we will be bringing onto that show our first team member we've ever had on a podcast, actually.
Yeah.
And that'll be Liz, who has joined us a few weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And she's working mostly on Two Krakens, sort of helping us with our customers and sort of getting the message out there and stuff like that. And she's been speaking to lots of people. She's doing a fantastic job. And we thought it'd be a really good opportunity to get on the podcast so you could all learn a little bit more about her.
Yeah, definitely.
So she'll be on next one. And then it'll be Christmas. And then we will have season 3. And we have, as I said before, so many exciting things to that. It's going to be a total change.
Yeah.
Total change.
Yeah.
We'll be able to share some more later. I don't know if we'll be able to share more in the next podcast. I don't know. It depends how much closer we are to...
Maybe share it over the Christmas break.
Maybe.
We'll see how excited we are.
But yes, I think that's everything from me. I don't think there's any more
No, yeah.
ideas that I've got off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, we've got to end it there. So hope you guys found it useful and put them in place. Help yourself to help others and yourself. And waffling.
I feel like that was a Jerry Springer sign-off then. What was the Jerry Springer sign-off?
Take care of yourself
And each other. Bye.